Howdy folks, Little John out in the man cave, and just been doing some tasters on some bourbon, a bit of the homemade, a little bit of commercial stuff, and just just seeing how I'm going with wine and what I've been knocking out. So what I want to do, just a quick grab of how things taste and how the results you can get at home with some simple equipment. Now, if you want to go back and have a look at some previous videos here in the whiskey jar, I'll stick a link up the top, and have a look at the equipment I'm using. It's just a simple Robo Brew, and just a pot still column attached to it. Now, I used the Robo because I'm a beer brewer. I used the Robo Brew for beer, and I stepped up into spirits a little while back, towards the end of last year. It's about 8 months ago. You can get that same setup with a cheaper boiler, which I think is only about $150. So, and I've mentioned this on the video, but basically for under $400 you can get the boiler, the column, the attachments, a bunch of bottles, and even the ingredient to make your first batch of, the spirits of bourbon, whiskey, whatever it is. Today I'm talking specifically bourbon. Now, I've done bourbon, I've done whiskey, I've done rum, I've done basic neutral spirits and made a variety of things. But today I'm just focusing on the bourbon side of things. Bourbon is my preferred drink, or American whiskey. So whether it be bourbon or Tennessee whiskey, don't mind a bit of scotch, don't mind a bit of rum here and there, but bourbon is my preferred drink. What I've done, I've just sat down and tried a few of variations I've got at the moment. And that's it. I've been brewing. Started off using Uncle Jesse's Simple Sour Mash, UJSSM. On search that you can find it, which is basically uses corn for flavouring and a lot of sugar. It's a very simple process. You can knock up like a wash in about 15-20 minutes with minimal effort. And it was knocking out decent quality bourbon. And I was doing that while I was learning the process and getting the hang of distilling. You can go back and have a look at the videos and see that process and a bit of the progression. There's not a lot due to the nature of distilling, but they're there if you want to see them. And I said, I'm looking now at bourbon, and specifically since I've gone all grain. By all grain I mean not doing a full mash using cracked corn or corn of some variation, barley and rye, and making an actual mash, then fermenting that mash liquid, distilling it and making the, and aging that product on some form of oak, to make, this sort of thing. This is the real deal. This is not made by me. This is Woodford and Reserve. Obviously over America, it's a Kentucky bourbon. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, which by the laws states that it's been made in Kentucky, been aged for 2 years in brand new white oak barrels, and meets certain standards as to at least 50% corn. It's barreled at a particular proof and stuff like that. What I'm making is my version of that. So technically, under the rules of the American Licensing Board or whoever else that bloody is that sets the rules, I can't make bourbon. Bourbon has to be made in America. Kentucky bourbon obviously has to be made in Kentucky. Same as Tennessee whiskey needs to be made in Tennessee. It has its own little things, but this is the style I'm trying to copy now. So I've made a run of batches, and again you can have a look. There's some there. So again, they're not all there, but I'll answer any questions. Click a question down the bottom if you want to ask anything about particular mashes or anything like that, and I will answer them. But over the last few months, I've done a couple of all grain batches, which came up with a couple of different ones. This fella, which was just a straight spirit, done off an early run with some just some charcoal oak, just from a local supplier. One batch here, which was taken from my last all grain run, taken early in the run, and it was aged on a big chunk of Jack Daniel's barrel. A lot of time you just get like chips and smaller pieces of the oak. That was actually done on a piece of barrel, so it's the actual stave, and it's been cut into chunks, so they're about yay by yay, and obviously about an inch thick. It's got the nice toast on it, and yeah, a little bit of the JD soaked in the barrel. So I stuck some of that into a jar with that and let it sit for a while. And this fella's come off. I've got a barrel sitting up here on top of the fridge, little 5 litre oak barrel. It's charred on the inside, just the same as the real deal at the distillery. It's just a little bit smaller. And to that I've added the all grain spirit after it's off the still. The white dog, moonshine, however you want to describe it. It's been put into that barrel. I did first batch. Barrel was about 2/3 full. Second batch I took some off. Which is this, and then topped up that barrel. So this is, even though it says I got it on it's Solara. It hasn't been Solara because that's just the first lot of stuff that come off that barrel. It hasn't sat on the second stuff. So these have only sat individually for about 6 weeks each on oak. That's it. This fella's done 2 years, so there's going to be a difference. But what I've found with this little taste today, and I've gone through and I've tasted them all, and what I've found is that the homemade stuff, it's very comparable. It just doesn't have the completed finish and that final, roundness that you get from the commercial views, which is obviously coming from time in the barrel and 2 years, 8 seasons, running through 2 full cycles of the calendar and 2 full seasons of summer, winter, autumn, spring, heating and cooling and in and out of the barrel, which I at this point have not been able to recreate. And for most people at home, it's difficult to do. You can there are guys will stick some stuff into a barrel and put that barrel into a fridge. It's cold for a week, and then sit it outside in the warmth for a week and backwards and forwards. I don't know how successful that's really going to be recreating those sort of seasons. I think it's a little bit more nuanced and time influence than that. But these are things that you can do. But the thing that I've found out and what I'm really impressed with was that by using a simple system that didn't cost a lot of money, and with that, I say, I see plenty of guys with stills that cost thousands of dollars, $1,200, $1,500 or more, for their still. And I don't know how much different the product is, but what I'm knocking out with a relatively short amount of time, with not a lot of knowledge, with no one sort of helping me, just a little bit of surfing the net, I'm knocking out good quality whiskey, which I'm really happy with, and I think most people would be more than satisfied drinking. As I said, I've put this beside Woodford Reserve just for tastings. I've got many other bourbons in the cupboard. Interesting way to describe the bar, but anyway, that's just what I pulled out today. And this stuff, by and large, is pretty much as good as. It's good whiskey. It's yummy. It's got the flavours. It's got the bite. It's got a little bit of the burn. Not that much different to that stuff. So that, which cost me around $8 a bottle, or Woodford Reserve, which I'm pretty sure cost somewhere around $60 a bottle, there's no comparison. You know, a fifth of the price, better than a fifth of the price, and quality wise, it might be 80%. Economics say stick with making it yourself. It's good. So as I said, if you're at home and you're wondering, should I make my own spirits? Should I spend the money and start making this hopefully golden nectar myself? His uncle, his little John, as handsome in person as he is on video. Whatever those questions are, the reality is you can make a good quality bourbon at home, good quality whiskey, good quality rum. A little bit of effort, look into a recipe, getting some advice from people that are doing it already. Small outlay for some equipment, a little bit of space, a wife that doesn't mind leaving you to the warmth and shiny glow of the stainless steel and copper still for a day or so a week. You too can get bourbon which you can mix, drink, splash around any way you like. And that is as good as anything you're going to go and buy in a club, pub, bar, anywhere in the country. So that's me, Little John. Sunday afternoon. I'm going to finish this up. If you've got any questions, if you want to clarify anything, and you want to ask some questions about recipes, you have any ideas for recipes, anything that you do that works, anything you want to know that can help you get into making bourbon, or whiskey, or rum, or spirits of any kind, ask away. Stick down the bottom. If you haven't subscribed to Little John, hit the button down there in the corner. We're doing this sort of stuff. We're doing beer. We're brewing things. We're looking at how to do it. We're playing around with different options. It was brewing related. That's here. It was distilling related. It may be here. But ask questions anyway, and we can get it answered. But that's me, Little John, for today. So till I see you again in the whiskey jar, we're playing around with some spirits. Bob's up.